What is the barrier that is stopping me from having burning desires to know myself?
If the burning desire to know yourself is not there, that means you have not lived your life. That means you have lived like a somnambulist. You have lived in a very lukewarm way. Or you were keeping your eyes closed. You were like an ostrich. You were not alert and awake. It means that you have grown old, but you have not grown up. You have not grown in maturity. If anyone who is alert and awake is not very strongly conditioned and programmed, if he observes life, then he will realize one thing very clearly, that life is so fleeting. It is like a dewdrop on the early morning leaf. Any moment it can slip down and your story ends. So you are here only as a guest for a while. So if you know that this life in this body is given to you only for a certain period, and you don't know when your time will be over. So once it is clear to you that your time here is very limited, then the urgency will happen on its own. You will then like to do only those things which are essential. You will not waste your time in non-essential stupid things, in superficial things. But because we live in a very unconscious, ignorant society, the way we are educated, the way we are brought up, the way we are taught in schools and colleges, the kind of people we are surrounded with, the kind of our friends and the society, those who have influenced our life, who create dent in our life, who affect our life. These are people, they are themselves in darkness, they are themselves ignorant. So, if you are an asleep person, if you are an ignorant person groping in the darkness, then you will conclude that life is only for seeking pleasure. Pleasure is the be all and the end all of life. That is the very goal. Because Pleasure is very concrete, very gross. You eat a sweet or a mango and instantly you get pleasure. Your sense organ is pleased. Or you can have sex and you get pleasure. So we are always running for pleasure because pleasure is very obvious. You eat a mango and you get pleasure immediately. You watch a movie, you get some pleasure. You have a good sex and you will get pleasure. Or if you are more spoiled by the society, then they say that money is the most important thing in life, or being successful. Being recognized by the society, being respected by the society, being rewarded by the society. These are the things worth dedicating your whole life for. And this is what you are told everywhere, in your schools, in your college, by your parents, by your friends, by those whom you love. Then you think this is the only right pursuit. But all these people are asleep people. They are in darkness. They are in the dark night of their soul. Okay. But if you are little alert, if you are not very strongly conditioned and hypnotized, then you will be able to see that in the name of pleasure you are just repeating the same thing again and again and again ad infinitum. There is nothing new in it. It is below human dignity. Human beings have far more greater possibilities and potentiality. So just to waste your life in these things, even if you are very successful, you are applauded by the whole society, you are respected by the whole society, you are given Nobel Prize. But the real thing is your inner harmony. The real thing is this peace, the silence, the ecstasy, the bliss, which nothing from outside can give you. The more you have all these things, money, power, prestige, respectability, you are rewarded, you are very rich, you have the best women in the world. The more, if you don't know yourself, in contrast, you will feel the inner side is very dark. Outside is all full of light, but your inside is not only in darkness, but it is festering, it is full of wounds. You are in an inner darkness, you are restless inside, there is no inner music. There is no love in your heart, there is no compassion. And if there is no love, no compassion, no awakening, no consciousness, no enlightenment, then you are just a robot or a humanoid. Your life cannot become significant by just having things from outside. You are the one who is inside. You can enjoy even outside things only when there is a master sitting inside. So when you are very strongly conditioned, very strongly programmed, then you live your life like a somnambulist, like a programmed computer. Then you never observe. And an unobserved life is no life at all. It is a worthless life. Observation is the method, both for the science and for knowing yourself also. When you observe the objects, then you discover outside things. Then you become a scientist. And when you start observing your mind, your thoughts, your emotions, how they are so repetitive, when you become watchful of your inner world, then you become conscious. Then the light enters in, otherwise there is always darkness. And if our modern life is just an imitation of the Western way, the Western style, the Western lifestyle. We have all become monkeys imitating Western lifestyle. But if you see the ordinary Western people, their life is just food and sex. And that garbage they have sent to the whole world. The whole world is influenced by it. If you start becoming little alert and you come out of your drunken state, then you will see how they are selling woman body. Just your shape of your hip has to be like a egg, and you can earn millions. Your boobs have to be big, and you can make fool of any man. You can become a celebrity. But if you become little alert, we are just seeing the surface. If you try to find out what is in the body is full of shit. Whatever is in the body, it is full of bone, marrow, saliva, semen, and so many rotten things inside. It sweats. Even if you don't take shower for one day, the body smells horrible and it looks as if you have not taken shower for 5 years. And those people who go on eating all kind of junk food, all kind of non-vegetarian food, all kind of hot things and all kind of spices, their body must be smelling so terrible. And we are in love with that things. So how strongly we are conditioned to become so stupid. And even whatever you think is pleasure, when your when your sexual organs are stimulated, excited, you get pleasure. But that is also happening inside you. The other is just triggering it. Their work is only to trigger it. Whatever happens inside you. Even that pleasure happens inside you. So why give so much importance to the other person? Whatever pleasure is happening inside you. When you eat a mango, the pleasure happens because you have taste bud. If the taste bud is destroyed, is cut out, then you will not get any taste. So the real thing happens inside you. We go on rubbing each other's body. And if you are obsessed with sex, while having sex, you can bleed also. So the pleasure which we derive from sex is like the dog who go on chewing dry bones, and its tongue is cut because of chewing that dry bone, and it feels that it is having pleasure. Or when there is a itching inside you and you start itching it, it looks as if you are getting some pleasure. But if you go on itching it, the blood will come out. This is how all pleasures are. Pain is the other side of the coin of the pleasure. And pleasure is just momentary. So if you know the reality of body, it is full of sickness, full of disease. What Buddha called, the word he gave for body is Jara Mara. Jara means it is full of diseases and sickness. Mara means it is going to die. It is already dead. Because of the prana in you, the body looks alive. Because of the presence of consciousness, the body is alive. So once you become alert enough and you indulge in any pleasure without any ideas, without any prejudice, then you will be able to see that you are repeating the same thing. And life, the end of life, the goal of life cannot be just seeking pleasure. But if you are already polluted by so-called hypocritical and fake saints, then while having any pleasure, you will be afraid, you may be feeling guilty, you may be thinking you are doing something wrong. Then you cannot be total in that. So even to enjoy some pleasure, you need to be little alert and awake. Once you become alert, then you can go beyond pleasure. Then you will realize pleasure is just a small part of life. And whatever the world is giving to you, all its name and fame and success, everything is just like a dream. It is just collecting around you. But the real thing is the one who is sitting within this body. If the light is missing there, if it is not full of light, if it is clouded, if it is in darkness, then your life is just a waste. So to become mature, you need to be little alert. The more alert you will become, the more conscious you will become, the more full of light you will be, the more mature you will become, the more evolved you will be. So once you have little awakening, little alertness, a glimpse of enlightenment or satori, then the burning desire will come. Once you realize the futility of this life, the meaninglessness of this life, the absurdity of this life, the dreamlike state of this life, then you will like to go beyond it. You will like to find something which remains untouched, which remains unaffected by all the pleasures and pain, all the suffering, which is always virgin, which has a light without any source. If your light is based on some things, if you put oil in something, then the light is there. Once the oil is extinguished, once the oil dries up, then the light will be gone. So your light, the inner light, is sourceless. It is its own source. It is not a borrowed light. Because our education is Western, so they are all outgoing energy. Their search is only objective. So they don't know how to turn in. They don't know how to become meditative, how to start observing the observer, how to start knowing the knower. That's why there is no contentment. There is no bliss. The whole life is just wasted in pursuit of money or other non-essential things. If you remain asleep, then whatever suffering and pain happens to you, you will try to forget it. You will like to take some medicine which will help you to forget. If you want to escape from suffering, if you want to forget your pain and suffering, then you will never become mature. So one should encounter life, one should see things as it is. And as long as you are unconscious, as long as you are asleep, you will go on creating more and more prison, more and more misery for yourself. And we are all the time hoping that other can make us happy. As long as you are seeking happiness from other, you will remain immature, because these people, they are themselves in darkness. They are themselves unhappy. How can they give you happiness? Because people have so much expectations from others. And when their expectations are broken, then they become full of poison. They go on throwing their poison. For some time they will be boiling with anger. They will be so violent. And after some time they will become as if they are a totally different person. So the unconscious person is just like a pendulum. He goes on moving from one extreme to other. If you are alert, little bit alert and awake, you will see what you are doing. Now you are angry, then you feel guilty, then you take a vow, I will never become angry. Then again you become angry after some time. You indulge in sex, you suffer, then you take vow that I will remain celibate. Then for after few days you again become so sexual. Then again you suffer. So we go on repeating same vicious circle. And there is no way out other than to become conscious, other than to become meditative. But if you are immature, if you are childish, if you are a mustache baby, then you think, what is the point? Go on having pleasure, go on gratifying your sense organs. Why waste time in trying to become conscious? And then you go on destroying your life. Because if you are blind, you are bound to fall in ditches after ditches. So if you want to be happy, if you want to have a meaningful life, a life which has some significance, then the first thing is to create your inner light. What Buddha said, be your own light. What Socrates said, know thyself first. What Heraclitus said, physician, heal thyself first. That should be the first thing that should be taught in schools and colleges. But we are made even more unconscious in school and colleges. We are made so programmed and so strongly conditioned that we are lost in a forest of darkness. And once you try to get out of it, your conditioning and programs are your greatest obstacle. You are so strongly addicted to repeat the same thing again and again that you try for some time, then you think it will not happen. I cannot succeed. It happens only to few exceptional people like Gautam the Buddha, Siddhartha. But if you go on trying and trying, one day you will succeed. It is arduous, but it happens. And it is better to fail in this pursuit, in trying to know yourself, than to be a pig who is only seeking pleasure. Is it clear? You understood?
Yes, understood, Swami. Very clear.
Your doubts are getting cleared or not?
Yes, cleared, Swami.
Is it going to help you or not? Or you will go on repeating the same thing?
Help a lot, Swami. I was listening with full attention, Swami. Help a lot, Swami. I gave my full attention to listen to what you said.
Is it clear totally now, or you want to ask anything more?
It's clear, Swami. I don't have anything to ask.
Anything more you have to say?
Thank you, Swami, for today's talk. is very, very helpful for me. Very, very helpful.
Not fantastic.
It's beyond fantastic for me. Really beyond fantastic.
I'm all the time teaching you the same chapter, so it may become sometime repetitive. Is it becoming repetitive or not?
No, not repetitive, no, I don't feel.
All the time I'm telling you the same thing. How to know yourself. Nothing new. There's no new chapter in that.
But
Just
that,
from this angle or that.
but the thing is that the reason you always talk about knowing yourself is because we ask different questions. But for every question that we ask, you will always lead us back to knowing ourselves. That's why you feel you always talk about the same thing, but the question is different, and you are leading us towards back to this point of knowing ourselves.
Who is the us? Who is the us? Who is the us?
Us me lor. Maybe sometimes Bhupender, sometimes Prince lor.
And it is also immaturity. We are always in search of Superman, superhuman. Then you will never try to realize your potential. You always look imaginary. You're projecting about master also that they are like Superman or a Batman. They will fly. They will touch you and things will happen. Now these are being dishonest. To seek things which are against the laws of nature. The real miracle is that your emotions, your thoughts, your mood, your feeling, your sexuality, your anger, your lust, your greed, your ambition, these things have made your life into a hell. You need to become their master. Now they are ruling you. If you are able to do this, that is the real miracle. Other than that, everything is just bullshit.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Swami. If you like our videos, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.